When you're seeking for something, you are not just looking, but you are destroying everything in your way. Okay, you are literally turning your bed over to find whatever you're looking for. Identity is knowing who you are in God, knowing who you are in God, and also understanding who you are as well. So identity is knowing who you are in Christ and understanding who you are in Christ. I feel like that is just the base of understanding your existence, and it'll do wonders in your lives. That's my definition of identity. I feel like you can only be defined by the one who created you, which is God, who is God. So anything prior or external to that is just like no side factors. It's not my foundation. You know, Christ is my foundation when it comes to my identity.
No, that's very true and powerful, you know. So, with that being said, right, like there's an identity crisis of like, okay, you know, I follow God, but then why am I going through all this? And then there are people who are not really Christians who are living a better life than, you know, as the supposed Christian who's supposed to have a green pasture, you know.
Yeah.
So, what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is that's a tricky one, because this is also very discouraging for many Christians, because like, yeah, I've been serving Christ all my life, I've been doing good, but nothing in my life is working out. And someone who is not even like doing what you are doing, and he's living his best life. So it can be very discouraging, but we also need to understand God's ways are not our own. And also, are you serving God because you love him or because you want things from him? You need to kind of define the relationship you have with your Christ. Is it one that is meant to fulfill your life or to fulfill your desires? Because our personal desires cannot be God's desires unless we know his desires for our lives, you know. So if we are focused on the world and focus on how other people around us are doing, how better they're doing compared to us, not knowing that God has better and greater plans for us who are his children, then we miss the point. You know, we miss the whole purpose of having a relationship with God, because we are focused on the world and not on heavenly things. Hence, I feel like you are fulfilled either way, and you get to understand that even in sorrow, even in pain, even in suffering, God still has a plan for you, and whatever you go through is meant to actually build whatever is actually preparing you for in the near future. You just need to have that relationship with him, and it's hard. I get it, like it's really hard, but going back to seeking God, understanding him and understanding the will he has for your life can help.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I heard something, right? Like, you know, when you don't know what God's purpose is for you, you know, God laughs when you make certain plans, right? Like, you think you know everything, and then it's like,
yeah,
not really. So,
you don't.
yeah, so, you know, how's your faith affected your relationship with yourself and family and friends and, you know, just other people?
My faith, it has actually helped me build stronger relationships. One thing about building your identity in Christ and building your faith in God, it helps you understand those around you better than you would if you had relationships with them without Christ. You know, it helps you love from a deep place. It helps you understand certain situations that you never even been through, but because you actually based your identity on Christ, He helps you understand things that happen in your life and also relationships that you have in your life. So my relationships have really flourished because of my faith. I've connected with people I need to, and one thing I love about faith is when I pray for faith and growth in my faith, I also pray for discernment, because I believe that even being a good Christian and living your life for Christ, you will be faced with certain situation and certain people try to get into your life that are not even supposed to be there in the first place. So having the discernment of being like, I'm not feeling this, I don't want to be close to this person. You just have that feeling because you're so connected with Christ and you know His purpose for your life. So you distance yourself from certain people and you distance yourself from certain situations. So
very true, and we distancing ourselves, there are so many people who are failing to face the truth. They're always assuming something rather than for what it is.
yes.
Why do people always make up something than actually dealing with it the way it's supposed to?
My roommate always says, ask, don't assume. Assumptions are really hectic and they can really ruin a lot of relationships if you're not careful. Because I feel like the reason for that would be mainly identity. The person does not really understand who they are, and secondly also environment plays an important role. So environment that they grew up in, and how their parents taught them to think, or how they primary school, high school taught them to think, how they grew up actually built that character within them. So being in relationships, aspiring to greatness, anything, they would always have assumptions of their own based on their own ideologies, because first of all, they're not willing to unlearn certain things in their lives. And secondly, they have not really built that or cultivated the habit of gaining new knowledge, actually understand certain things, but they just want to base it to, I know this is gonna happen before it even happens, And I feel like it's sad sometimes because we assume negative in things we aspire to do, relationships we want to have, because we already have a negative perception. So we've already blocked the blessing before even having it, and that's pretty sad.
Yeah. So, with that, so from one of your podcasts, I heard you saying that be specific with the vision that you want for your life or whatever you're doing. Why is being so specific important, and not just say, okay, if I get somewhere in the entertainment world, it's okay? How much is focus important in today's society?
It's very important. I cannot stress it enough. You having a specific agenda helps you prepare for it. So preparation can be met with opportunities. So if you know exactly what you are aspiring to be, aspiring to do, you will start preparing for it. So when opportunities come, or if you create opportunities for yourself, you will be attracting the people that you want to attract in your life. You'll be attracting the customers that you want to have in your life. So everything works aligned to you understanding what you need to do and what you want to do. You cannot just be like, anything goes, anything comes. No, it's I don't think it's gonna work that way. But if you have a specific goal and focus, you work towards it, you prepare for it, and you just get there not quicker, but you just get there prepared for whatever God has in store for you, and that is the goal.
It's more of a smoother sail, right? Like instead of going through stuff, just
You know?
So, what is the importance of unity or the significance of unity and maintaining relationships?
In relationships, I feel like it's super duper important because it just helps you reach certain goals better, and having a united Africa, a united community of people who are aimed to actually build Africa as a whole is just nice. Like I see like the way my heart goes for this, because initially having people who understand that they need each other helps the people around them actually benefit from whatever they are pursuing in their lives. So if I have a certain, maybe I want to start up an organization or a platform, and I have a community of people who understand and would want to stand with me, it helps that community or that platform grow from nothing to something, because people actually believe in it, and they're not just helping out because they know me, but they're doing it because we are united as Africans. And that's the whole purpose, I think. It's just, it helps us really connect and understand each other first as Africans, and then secondly, it actually gets a lot of things off the ground, and that's what we want to do.
That's good. There's something about believing in God that makes him willing to pass over millions and millions of people just to anoint you. So how does that speak to you as an individual?
How does it speak to me? It speaks to me, it's power to me. It's power. It's a lot of power, because personally, as you said, it speaks how it speaks to me. Personally, I didn't always grow up as a confident person who believed that she can do anything she wants or puts her mind to. So once I actually found out my identity and purpose in Christ and understand that I could stand out in a million people or in a crowd of people, God can still spot me and actually say, I have greatness and I put greatness over your life, and you're gonna build nations, and all of those things. It's just like speaking into my life alone, just that alone made me feel powerful. Like, it made me feel greater than I did about 6-7 years ago. So that alone actually builds confidence. I think it helps you understand your worth, and it places, this is the thing, there's a certain worth that the world is going to place on you, and there's a worth that God has already placed on you that you need to discover. And that worth that you need to discover in God is the worth you need to actually overtake the world or whatever you aspire to do, because now you have a different type of identity, you have a different type of tone, different type of ideology, different type of whatever it may be, because now you're not just anybody, you are God's child. So yeah.
Okay, so my last question to you is, to a youth who's trying to do something different and has so many ideas but is scared to break out and out of the norm, what would you have to say to them?
Okay, what would I say to them? Right now I can say that it's okay. Like, it's okay to be scared. It's okay not to know everything. It doesn't take for you to know everything to actually pursue a certain path in life. Where you're at in life at the moment is where you need to be, because you are still in your preparation stage. You're still learning, and I would advise them to also seek Christ, seek to understand their identity in Christ, gain as much knowledge as they possibly can, from research, from books, I recently, also myself, I started reading. Thank God for friends. I started reading, listen to good podcasts, uplift your life to a whole new level, to a point of kind of putting that doubt away, because doubt can only reap. It can't reap anything, pretty much. It will only leave you where you are right now. So try to channel your mind differently and build on your strengths. And also don't undermine your weaknesses too.
So is there anything else you want to say, and where can people reach you and know your stuff?
Is there anything else, Charles? Is there anything else? I'm a podcaster, as mentioned. I'm quite new in the game, but I've been YouTubing for over a year now. But I'm only recently becoming really consistent with it. So I'm a YouTuber, I'm a podcaster. If you want more content from me or more content of the things that we've actually spoken about right now, then you all can reach me on Chols Journey _Chols_Journey on IG, and then I have a page for my podcast which is Chols.Journey_podcast. So those are the two platforms you can reach out. And if you are a young woman seeking to understand her identity, I have a community or a platform called Self-Defined, where we just uplift and build each other, which is also on IG. So yeah, I am Chols Journey, and I am prompting the youth that they can.
Thank you for that. Okay, so
smart, know your worth. So basically, I feel like our definition of stay woke is that exactly, and we just try to bring it out in clothing. So we allow people to express themselves. They get to send in their own designs.